Live. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining me today. And I'm super excited for this live. So just a super quick sound check. Let me know when you start to see the broadcasting, if you can hear me properly, if you can see me well, and we are ready to go. One thing, I would love you to use the chat as much as you want. Ask whatever question anytime during the presentation and during the analysis that I will do of your CVs. I would love this session to be as interactive as possible. Even because, here on my channel, I have a lot of videos on the CVs, other webinars, everything. So you can, with no problem, take a look at my channel and get a lot of information. The very cool thing of being here together is that I get to see your CV specifically and answer your specific questions. So feel free to use and abuse the chat tool. With that being said, let's see. So, okay, you can hear clearly, that's wonderful. And let's see if you can also see my screen and the presentation. All right, super excited to be here. Again, let me know if you can see the presentation while I go on. I know that there is a little bit of lag between me and you guys, but yeah, let me know if everything is all right. So what are we gonna do today? Today, we are actually going to see how we can improve our resume and how to write our resume, how we can optimize all of our skills and all of our experiences in order to be as much compelling as possible for our prospective employer. All right, so first and most important question: do we still need the resume? Is it still important? I mean, we are in 2021. We have LinkedIn. We have so many ways to connect with people, groups, Facebook, Instagram. I saw people landing jobs through Instagram actually. So we have so many tools. We are so much interconnected. Do we really still need our resume? And the question is yes. Unfortunately, we still do. Important. It's not everything that we know, but that we do need, but it is an absolutely important part. So here, it's why we're gonna need our resume, because unfortunately, as well, our degree is not enough anymore. I remember once upon a time, all the people of the oldest generation, my parents, people from the 60s, from the 70s, when they were young, if you had a degree, especially if you had a technical degree, that was more than enough to land a very good job and have a very brilliant career. Unfortunately, right now, this is not the case anymore. Especially you have seen that with this pandemic in our sector, in the oil and gas industry, even more than any other sector, we have jobs that fluctuate with time. Sometimes we have our downturns, but at the same time, as never in history, as many people as today are getting much educated as they are today. Universities are producing a number of graduated people, which is always increasing. So we have an offer of very high skilled people, extremely high, but at the same time, sometimes, especially in downturns, jobs are reducing. A lot of offer, very, less demand, equal a lot of competition. That's why we want to be as much prepared as possible. And by the way, the fact that you're here, the fact that you want to improve your resume, that you are interested in understanding how you can market yourself as much as possible, as better as possible, this is a very important step. Not many people do that. So you're already on the very good track. So let's see to fix everything that we can to produce a good resume. Now, I would like you to imagine this thing. Let me go just full screen so you can see the two examples better. All right. So these are, this is the same person, Same resume in terms of content on your left and on your right. Now, imagine that you are a recruiter. You have hundreds of CVs to go through every day, and you have a lot of CVs. The vast majority of your CVs, they look like the one that you see here on your left, the one, you know, the Word document over here. What would you do? I mean, how much time would you spend on a resume like that? You know, it's something that you have seen so many times. It's not very clear. It looks, you know, it looks pretty rough, like you haven't spent a lot of time producing that. So in 4 seconds, you go through hundreds of CVs. 4 seconds, you know, read the name, look for the qualification, blah blah blah. Okay, next. Will that resume stuck in your memory? I don't think so. So, and again, exactly the same, you know, that's the same person. So the experiences, the skills that she had was the same in the first and in the second resume. But here you can see on the right a much better way to market yourself, a much better way to create interest. Because let's keep real, I will repeat this as much as possible. Your resume is a marketing document. We'll get back there. And it will abide to the same rules as marketing. And we will see which are the 4 principal elements of each CVs. And then we will see how good you have done on your resumes. So as you can see, you know, it's much better. It's well crafted. It's easy to understand. It tells what Nesrin knows, what are her skills, and so on. So let's see how we can actually produce something like that. Keeping in mind that, again, our resume is a marketing document. So if you want to sell a mobile phone, if you want to sell this phone, for example, okay, you could do 2 things. You can create a very nice advertising so you can study your marketing niche. You can study your clients, your prospective clients, understanding which are the quests, which are the requests that they have, which are the things that they are critical to them, the things that they are interested into, okay? And then create a product and create an advertising, an ad that is targeted on your specific niche. Okay, so for example, you can create a flyer, you can create a deadline, you know, a one pager, a short video, 10 seconds video, or otherwise you can list all of the amazing characteristics of these mobile phones. So you would just create the instruction booklet, okay, you know, a piece of document this big that, you know, how many of us have ever read the instruction booklet of a phone? But all of us, we have bought a phone. So that's why this is to let you understand that all of the things that we have done, we have so many skills, so many experiences, the university, the projects, the work, internships, side projects, hobbies, a lot of things. Probably, most likely, all of these things will not fit in the resume. We need to see which are the skills that our prospective employer is much more interested into, and then utilize those characteristics to craft a very nice CV. Same thing, you know, this phone does many things. When Google advertises this phone, it just picks 1 or 2 characteristics and creates the advertisement on that. We just need to trigger the interest of the people who's reading our document so much that he or she will want to know more about us. Let's see how to do that, and let's see the 4 main principles that we need to apply. And this is good for any career level, any job that you will apply to. So please, I would love you to pay attention to this part, and then we're gonna see how you did according to these principles. And again, any question, anytime, just use the comment section. I'm seeing you, and I'm reading you. So this is my CV. Let me go full screen so you can see it better. Bam. All right. So as you can see, one page, of course. It's pretty clear, pretty organized. You can easily read through that. The readability is very important. I listed something that was important to me, under project and achievement, under skills, educations. But you see, I haven't spent too many words describing everything that I have done on my side projects and so on. And then under the career section, I just picked the most, let's say, the most interesting things that I have done, and I've listed that in a very synthetic way, bullet points, so very clear, very easy to read. And I tried my best not to use too much jargon, too much, specific and specific language to of my niche. So for example, anyone who reads my CV can more or less understand. Of course, you maybe want to use a couple of technical acronyms, technical words here and there, but still the concept, it's absolutely clear. So let's see which are the 4 principles. Number 1, most important, please take care to this. It gotta be short. 1 page. We don't want anything longer than 1 page. Unfortunately, especially today, we got TikTok, 30 seconds video, at maximum 1 minute. We got Instagram, you scroll, okay? And you pay attention for, what I wanna say, 2 seconds. I have my younger siblings, when they're watching the stories on Instagram, they're like 30 seconds, 3 seconds, 1 second, 2 seconds, bam. So our attention span, it's very limited. And unfortunately, this reflects exactly the same way in our work environment. So the person who, the recruiter who spends a lot of his days, scrolling on Instagram, watching videos on TikTok, that's his attention span. That's something common to all of us. So again, we need to capture his or her attention in no time. And 1 page, that's very important. Imagine that you're looking for a video on YouTube. You want to understand, something. You don't need like a super deep understanding of that. You just want to know how that concept works. Like for example, I don't know, I want to know what Baker Hughes, for example, my company, what Baker Hughes does. I just Google Baker Hughes, maybe I go on YouTube, and I see a video which is 45 minutes long. I mean, I just want to know what Baker does, the main products, what they do. Probably if I have 4 videos, one is 45 minutes, 33 minutes, 30 minutes, and then one of 2 minutes, I would definitely start with that, because I am not scared by the length of the video. Same exact things with our resume. We want to be just 1 page because we want to be synthetic, and we want not to scare the recruiter with length. Okay, so short, 1 page. Let me go again full screen. Second, a very important element, you gotta be clear. Now, what do I mean by clear? Clear, it means that it has to be super clear. What is your job qualification? Okay, you see here, operation management engineer. So I would like your name, and right under your name, your job qualification. This is extremely important because the recruiter who's skimming all of the resumes, he or she will see immediately what you can do and what are the positions, the jobs that you are probably most qualified to fulfill. So this is extremely important. Name, job qualification. This is what I mean by clear. It has to be clear what is your value. What can you do for the company? Bam, immediately. Third and most problematic things and element, I would love you to include some numerical results. And this is, I know, this is extremely challenging, especially for people, that are fresh graduates. It's not easy to have numerical results. Let me see if I can go here. Oh, wonderful. Okay, so it's not easy to have numerical results on our CV when we are fresh graduates, but we can definitely craft our resume so that it's clear that we have achieved something. So when I put numerical results, this is because numbers, people like numbers. It's when you achieved something. For example, let me give you an example here. First line in sourcing and commodity manager. Okay, manage a global raw material RFQ, saving 250K. Now, maybe what an RFQ is, it's a technical acronym. Maybe the recruiter who's going to be a non-technical person, maybe he or she will not know what an RFQ is, but he or she will definitely understand 250K saved. That's universal. $, it's always universal. So when I put numerical results, and then we're going to see some examples on your CVs as well. I have some of yours that have very nice experience, but they didn't put some numerical results. We're going to see that. And so it's very easy to convey your value, the value that you have produced. And this is another very important piece of advice. Your value, your results are much more important than your responsibilities. Okay, the fact, for example, that you have managed 15 people, I throw a number, the fact that you were responsible for project X or Y, it doesn't actually mean that you delivered on that project, that you produced savings or you brought money to the company. So that's why we really want to include all of our responsibilities, but then join your responsibilities with the results. And one of the most common thing on this point is that you can say, but we are fresh graduates, we don't have a lot of work experience. Yes, but most of you did have and did do some internships. You had group projects that you've done on the university, during the university. Don't underestimate those, because especially, during your internship, you have done something for sure. You have achieved something. You have contributed to achieve something. Because, most of us, we are part of a team. So everything that we achieved that in a team. We did our part to contribute to that achievement. Okay, don't be scared, put that. And group projects during university. I know that's not real work, but again, those are real effort that all of you guys have put. So if you've done some interesting projects, research, achieving some results, put it there. Group projects, we have learned, for example, how to explore, how to perform the forecast on an oil well. I'm just throwing some random things, but again, I'm a mechanical engineer, and this is a true story. My first job, as you can see, I was hired by Ferrari. I worked for Ferrari in Italy, and I was hired because in my resume I put a group project that I did in my university that was concerning lean manufacturing. Ferrari was actually looking for someone that could do some work in lean, and so that's why they interviewed me. So don't underestimate your group projects, and put numerical results. Managed X people. Organize the conference where 50 people attended. So throw some numbers here and there. Try to do that. This is a very why I'm stressing this point so much, because this is such a good differentiator. And now I see Mara. Should GPA be included in your CV? Yes, if it is extremely high. Otherwise, it's not it's not so important. If you have a GPA of 4.0, 3.8, 3.7, something like that, an outlier, something that is extremely good, yes, because that's a differentiator that you have with your competition. Okay. Otherwise, it's not important. If they are interested in that, usually companies are not. but they will ask for that. Last but not least, we would like to have our resume as simple as possible. So non-technical. Let me come back full screen. Here we go. Non-technical. So, and here I go again back to what I was saying before. I would love you to avoid as much technical jargon as you can. Now you can tell me, yeah, but Pietro, you have RFQ, you have OCPH, you have lead time. I mean, this is super standard, but then, you have some technical jargon here and there. Yes, but I put that together with some numerical results. So again, even if you don't know what an RFQ is, you will definitely understand saving 250K. If you don't know what an OCPH is, you will understand the saving per hour. So it's understandable by a non-technical person as well. And I'm just throwing a little bit here and there, just because if someone is in the industry, they will relate to this technical jargon. So not a lot, just a little bit here and there. And yeah, so if you want to include some technical things, please be aware that your grandmother needs to understand your CV, or at least needs to be impressed by your CV. And again, $ savings brought to whatever company you worked for, you had an internship with. That's a very thing that you can use to impress, let's say, who's watching your CV. Alberto, have seen people reacted positive because of, exactly. So again, if you have a very high GPA, please include that. Ciao Francesco, grande frel. And all right, let's go on. Now, these are the two resumes. Let me see if I can put my very ugly face in the middle of these two resumes, like this. All right. So these are the two kind of resumes that I would love you to prepare. Now, the first one on your left, I would say, is the visual one. Okay, that is the one that I would love you to use 99.9% of the time. This is very visual. It has a very nice impact on the people who are looking at that. It's very good to catch the attention. And again, it works basically always. There are some very little cases, we can maybe talk about that a little bit later, in which the company that is selecting you has an ATS, which is actually a computer that takes your CV, scan your CVs looking for keywords, and then automatically selected those resumes. Sometimes those systems do not like the PDF version of the resume. They want some very simple and standard format of Word documents. So these are the very rare occasions in which you will send some resumes which look at the one on your right, which are Word format. And again, you will notice if the company has an ATS. For example, some red flag that the company might have an ATS. It's a very, 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 very big company, and they ask for resumes in Word format. So that's probably because they do have an ATS. Second, just Google that. Does the company blah 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 have an ATS? Applicant Tracking System, ATS. And if the results that come up is yes, they do, so maybe go and use a Word format. And again, super simple, exactly like the other one. All of those principles apply here. I don't want to spend too much time on these. You can look at the other webinars that are on the channel. I have explained that much more in detail, but I don't want to steal too much time to our session today talking about this very rare case. Again, if you have any questions, comment section, it's all yours. Let's move on. Now, this is the last thing that I would love to present you, and then we can jump on your CVs. this is the resume, the building process to create your resume. And a lot of people, we especially when we don't, when it's the first thing that we create our resume, we start from the wrong place. So we start by thinking about what we achieved and what we have, and we start drafting our resume with all of the things that we believe being the most important. This is, we need to act like people in marketing acts. So the first point where we start is not what we know about ourselves. We want to find information about our clients, about our prospective employer. So what does my audience want? What does the company that I would like to work for, what do they want? What are they looking for? And so later, and just later, we ask about ourselves. So what do I have that the companies want? So first we analyze our target. Then we see what are all of the characteristics that we have that might be useful for our audience. And finally, we actually start building our resume. So how do we know what the company wants? This is super important. We have the job descriptions. So what I would love you to do, the homework that I'm giving you after this webinar, is go check websites like Monster, LinkedIn. Have a lot of jobs posting. Monster, LinkedIn. You can use, for example, Indeed. There are so many websites where companies are posting some job openings. I would like you to collect 5, 6, 10, 11 job descriptions and analyze which are the characteristics that are required the most in each and every job descriptions. Another thing, I would love you to go to the company's website. All of the companies, they have their culture, okay? And people, especially people in HR, in the human resource, so those who are actually deciding if you're gonna get hired or not, all of them are very into the company culture. So if you can see something on their website, on the characteristics of the company that you can relate to, perfect, use that. And even if you're not going to use that during your during the building of your resume, you will definitely use that during the job interviews. So, and again, another thing that we can do on LinkedIn, do use LinkedIn. By the way, let's connect on LinkedIn, Pietro Galli, just you can go and connect with me. The more connection we have, the easiest it is also for a recruiter on LinkedIn to find you. So even among you guys, among each other, let's connect. And then, if you connect with someone who's working on that company, you can ask, what are the things that your company is more interested about in this role? Do you know anyone that has this job position that can give me some advice? These are extremely important pieces of information. Now, then we cross-reference. We know what the companies want, we know what we have, we cross-reference, and we develop a list, the shortest possible, of all of the experience, all of the skills, all of the qualities, all of the things that we have that the prospective employer is interested in. And then just now, when we have done all of this homework, just now we put together our resume using the 4 golden rules, which are short, clear, non-technical, and numerical results. All right. Now, take a snapshot of this. Let me take my face away of this. Take a snapshot of this slide and stuck that in your mind, because this is going to be very important. I'm going to help you a lot. Okay, now I see another question on the picture, and Turan, I'm getting back to there in a second. That's a very interesting question about should we include or not the picture in our resume. Okay. The last thing that I would love you to give is just some resources that you can use to have a very, to create a very nice resume. So we have Canva. It's a website. that offers many free templates, not 100% customizable, but pretty good. Then we have My Perfect Resume, myperfectresume.com. It's not free. It asks for a subscription, I think. Not much, but it asks you for you need to pay a little bit. And I've seen from some of the resumes that you've sent me, I think that some of you guys have already used a very similar website to My Perfect Resume. And there are many of that. Just type on Google visual resume template, visual resume building, a lot of things will pop up. Last but not least, you can add me on LinkedIn and ask me for my templates, and I will be more than happy to provide you with some PowerPoint templates that you can use to craft your own resume. Okay. Guys, we finally got to a point where we can analyze your CVs. So let's see how good you've done. And again, there are, and by the way, first thing that I would like to say, I'm impressed because first, you are so young and that makes me feel so old. I've seen some resumes, some of you guys are 2001. Wow, that's incredible. And you're already almost graduating and looking for a job. That's incredible. So many of you speak so many languages. That's so impressive. I barely speak one, which is not English. And so you have many experiences and you are so much committed and already on the good path. So some of the resumes are a little bit better. Some of them are more improvable. But again, whatever I'm going to tell you right now, please, we're here to improve. And we're taking all of your guys' experiences in order to create some better for all of you. So please do not feel attacked on your work, on something that you have done. It's just the form of the CV that it's improvable in some cases. So it's not. I'm not finger pointing anyone. And again, all of you, it's impressive. Like the number of things that you have already achieved and done. So absolutely, guys, that's well done. Like I have no other words. Okay, so let's see. Let me put your resume here. Okay, there is no particular order. 1, 2, 3. It's just it's the order that I randomly use. Okay, but you cannot see them. You're right. Let me go here, and I don't know why I lost them. Where are the cameras? I lost my cameras. So guys, can you still see everything? Let me know. So let me go here. All right, now you can. Okay, now you can see it very well. Okay, so what was I saying? The numbers that you see here, there's no particular order. That's just the number that I've used. I received a lot of CVs. Maybe we will not go through all of them, but we can definitely have another session together where we just start from the CVs. No problem at all. I've seen a question right before on the picture and on how to get the templates. So the templates, you can just add me on LinkedIn. I'll forward you to all of you guys. No problem. I'll just forward you the resumes on you can add me on LinkedIn and I'll pass you there. So the picture. Now, it's absolutely how can I say? It's absolutely up to you. There is not a rule. There are some positions in which in some countries that they actually require not to have the picture, but all of us, we have LinkedIn and we have our pictures on LinkedIn. So if the recruiter is interested in us, they will just Google LinkedIn and put your name on LinkedIn, and he or she will find our pictures. So it's not a big deal. Let's say I have many times people asking me this, should I put my picture or not? Don't stress it out. It's not a problem. If you want, do include that. I like resumes with pictures. If you don't want to, don't do that. Then I see another question that it's, do we need to create professional resumes or modern resumes? I think that what you mean is, do I need a standard resume, something like, the Word resume, or a visual resume? I would definitely go with a visual resume. I don't know if your idea of standard is maybe, a CV like the one that we are watching right now. If this is your idea of standard, and then, for example, this is your idea of modern, that it's a little bit more visual. There was one that I really liked. This one, I really like this one. So for example, if this is your idea of modern, and the first one is your idea of more standard, definitely go for the modern. As long as, and again, this is a marketing document, as long as it catches the attention and tells interesting things about you, the prettier it is, the better. Okay, let me just put the screen. Let's go full screen. Molto bene. All right, so we can analyze all of this. It's okay to add hobbies. We'll get back there in a second. Let's analyze this resume. Let's see why I think that this is a good example of a person that has a lot of very good skills and very good qualification, but at the same time, we definitely need to work on the form. So let's remember our 4 principles. Short. Is it short? Is it 1 page? No, that's 2 or 3 pages, I think. 3 pages. Perfect. We need to work to have this resume just 1 page. Is it clear in the sense that, can I understand in 2 seconds what is the job qualification of this person? Can I understand that in 2 seconds? It's not clearly stated, under the name. Remember, under the name, bam, job qualification. So that's another thing that we can that we could do easily improve, easy improvements. And let's go on. Numerical results. Let's take a look at that. So, for example, objective. This is okay. Objective and summaries. That's important because many of you are putting this. I am not against objective and summaries. What I would really like you to do is to proceed in this way. You have collected all of the job postings, okay, all of the job descriptions of your future role. You have seen which are the skills and keywords that they have used the most. So let me quickly go through there. So for example, here you collect a lot of job postings. So that's what I added. Here I just collected a lot of job job descriptions that might be a good fit for me, for example. Then what do? We look for the most repeated keywords. So you can go to this website, Word Clouds, and you can just type in your what is it? Sorry. You can just put here the word. Let me here. Okay. So I just paste all of the. Okay, stupid. I didn't copy that. Okay. Here we go. We can just paste here all of the job descriptions, and bam, word list. And here we have all of the words that are repeated most of the time. So here we can look for all of the most relevant skills. So why do I want you to do this? Because by doing so, you can then go back to your objective and summary. You do know now which are the most required skills, and that are the skills that I would love you to include in your objective and summary. Because otherwise, saying that we are determined, we are willing to improve, we are young, we're fresh, we're energetic, it's okay, you know, those are all great skills, but it's something that everybody is saying, you know. So if everybody says that, it's like, you know, if everybody has it, it's like nobody has it. So if you just use the skills that are included in most job description, okay, that's just something that the recruiter will connect more, will relate a little bit more. Okay, so objective, synthetic. Of course, we could be a little bit more synthetic here. Then I would discourage you from putting any, tables and stuff. You know, what I would love to do is exactly taking the best skills, the best achievements, the best curricular activities, extracurricular activities. Among all of these, you will just select 4, 5 of them according to which are the most required skills and experience in the job description, and with that you will then produce a shorter resumes with just few bullet points articulating more. So rather than a long list of achievement and skills, I would like few achievement and then justified. I did this project, and in this project we achieved A, B, C. I have this skill, public speaking, for example. Why? Because I delivered these and that webinar, this and that conference, for example. Public relation, because, you know, my hobby is to do, and, you know, I was in sale, for example, for an internship or whatever, you know. So this is what I would love you to do. Another thing, marital status, as well as your gender, it's not important. You know, much more than, and this is, I would, if the picture, I really don't care, you know, whatever you are most comfortable about, I would discourage all of you from putting gender, you know, okay, from the picture you can understand that, but anyway, I would discourage you to clearly state that, as well as your marital status, unless it is absolutely required by the company, which I definitely don't believe so, because this is something, it's one of the most common form of discrimination, especially if you're a married girl. That historically is the most common form of discrimination from jobs. You know, married girls, okay, we don't hire you because maybe you get pregnant and then you are away from the company a lot. So that's why a lot of companies are very pay a lot of attention to that, and they don't want to know that, because they don't want to influence any bias on the recruiter, on the manager, and so please do not include that. Okay, and then, for example, if you want to link your other achievement, all of your publications, extracurricular activities, just use an hyperlink, hyperlink to your CVs that can connect to your LinkedIn, and then use your LinkedIn section as long as you want. Okay, so this was let's say the first resume. So let's go on now. I would like to see Jamila, I would love to see yours now. And just before that, let me just see if I have any questions from you. How's it going? Let's see the comment section. Okay, I think I addressed all of the questions so far, I hope. if you have asked something and I lost your question on the comments, just copy and paste so I can see it. When you applied to Baker Hughes, which one did you use? Which resume did I use? I definitely use a visual one. I use a visual one even for Ferrari, and it's not the same that I have right now. It was worse, and I think it was something that I've done on a website. At that time, I didn't do my own. I didn't use PowerPoint to do my own resume. It was actually pretty similar to this. Yeah, it was actually pretty similar to this. I'm very much, I'm 95% confident that this resume comes from a job, a website that like perfect resume builder, something. I'm pretty confident of that because it looks familiar. So I think I had a format similar to this. And this format works pretty well. When I worked for a friend of mine, and she got hired by Google, and we prepared a very similar format to, very visual, something very similar to this. That's why I like this resume. Jamila, you're up. So pretty good resume. I liked it. Now I don't want you to be distracted by my ugly face. Let's just focus on the CV. Okay, so let's see again our principle. Is it short? Almost two pages. We will need to put it just to make it just one page, and it's easy and it's absolutely doable. Clear, yes, petroleum engineer student. You know what? I would even erase the student part, because when you will apply for a job, you're not going to be a student anymore. So just go for petroleum engineer. That's perfect. Work experience. This is a very good thing, and yes, I'm glad we're looking to this CV so I can say this. If you had some interesting internships, if you had anything that can, that it's a work experience on your field, on something that you would like to keep on working for. So for example, Jamila has, work experience that can be very much useful for the job that she is going to apply for. Perfect. So that's great that she has put work experience before anything else. That's something very good. When you have a good amount of internships, and I've seen some of you have already done like 2 or 3 different internships in different companies. Perfect. That's very good. You have a lot of experience. You have seen a lot of real world. So put that even first on your CVs. Okay. So for example, here we can about the being the working for the student chapter. Perfect. Those are very nice skills, and here we could use the numerical result thing that we were talking about. So for example, planning all programming activities, event, technical and non-technical session. Okay, how many? You can easily put these 2 lines, responsible for planning X events, activities, blah, and so for 10, 15, 20, 2, 3, whatever, but numbers, and they can, they resonate a lot. Contacting speakers, we can merge together, like many of these, I would say like these other 3 or 4 things, we could merge them together, and we can use this section to justify your skills. So when you say, for example, you can say, you can put your experience, the job experience, and then listing what you have achieved and the skills that you have. So for example, time management, communication. Why? I am the one who interacted with all of the speakers. I am the one who managed to create these events and so on. So that's something that I would love all of you guys to do. Use your experience as justifications for your skills. So it's good to have the list of skills, but it's better to have yours, few of them listed in your job descriptions. That's very important. Then let's see what else we can do and we can say. And again, I would merge these 1, 2, 3 section together. I would merge this section together, areas, some, you know, and find three, it's always the magic number, 3 points that you would love to, and you would like to highlight, just 3 points. And again, which are those 3 points? You're gonna study the job descriptions and you're gonna find them. And then, for example, for the certificates, just look for the job descriptions, which are the ones that are most required, and maybe include just one if it's very important. Otherwise, hyperlink, you know, just one line, hyperlink, and we are saving, you know, almost 1 page, because this page has to go. We need to merge everything together. So for example, soft skills, we can put less than this, you know, which are the most important. And again, the job descriptions that you're going to study will tell you which are the most important. You don't have to, you know, you don't have to create anything. For example, this is impressive, and this is something, you know, you guys make me feel so miserable. You know, so many of you speak 4 languages. This is impressive. So yeah, definitely keep it. Hard skills, and again, which are you know, on all of these softwares, which are the ones that are most required for the jobs that you would love to apply? Okay, just keep them. How can you know? Job descriptions and connecting with people that are already in the that are already doing that job. And again, it takes no time. It takes no time to connect with someone on LinkedIn, shoot a brief message. Maybe you connect with 15 people that have that job description. You shoot 15 messages. You know, how much is it gonna be? Like, I don't know, 20 minutes of time, even less. Even if just 1 or 2 will reply, that's more than enough. You will know. And you will be surprised about how many people are willing to give a little bit of their time to, you know, to help some motivated and young talents like all of you guys. Okay, let's move on. Is there anyone who's connected right now who would like to see his resume analyzed? Because, you know, now I'm pretty going randomly. So if we have any requests, no problem. Let's see if I'm losing any questions. Okay, very good. Let's move on. That's, for example, that's a simple resume that I pretty much enjoyed, and I think this is the opposite problem, in which we would need to articulate a little bit more. The template, it's pretty good. I'm not a huge fan of this template because we have a lot of blanks. You see, it's important, like, not to fill too much our resume, but not even to leave too much blank space. So for example, again, of course, under the name, you already know, I'm repeating myself, but I will repeat, I will bore you to death, but those are the 4 things that are so important. Under the name, what do we want? We want the job qualification. So so that it's very, very easy for anyone to understand what it is that you are actually doing. Okay, then exactly. Here we have a long list of things, which tells me that you have done a lot of things. Okay, and by the way, okay, no, I don't have your date, but again, you're very young, so impressive. Again, impressive. So one thing that I would love you to do is to select just few of these achievements, very few of them. Expand much more the experience section. So internship with Chambler J, 6 weeks. Guys, 6 weeks. It's good. You know, especially I think that you were you on field? Were you on field or not? Anyways, you know, 6 weeks, especially if you're doing something tech, you know, you've breathed, you know, you've breathed the air of the real work environment. What have you done? Like which was the aim of your internship? What are the projects that you have contributed? Which are, and then this depends on what you would like to do later. So for example, if you would like a field job, which are the tools that you have worked with? You know, where you're exploring wells, where you in a facility building the equipments, you know, whatever you have done. You know, introduction to seismic modeling, perfect. Which software? What was the project that you have done? So that's very good. Articulate a few bullet points with numerical results if you can. Otherwise, you know, at least the list of the most important tools that you have used and you learned to manage, and yes, articulating a little bit more. Then would we put, for example, skills and abilities? Yes, if we, that's why, for example, I'm a fan of the 2 columns, small columns and big section resumes, because the skills, the certifications, all of the, you know, conference and webinars, all of these can go like in a little column on the side, because what those guys are going to be very interested in the HR guys is what you have done and what you have achieved. So they are thinking about, you know, when I put you on field, when I put you on my facility, when I put you in my office, what is that you're going to do. So that's very interesting. And again, Geophysical Club, Society of Petroleum Engineer, all of these, use these experience to justify your skills. For example, team working. You know, you work with many other people in these projects. Bam, that's very important, especially for young graduates. And high school, we can erase high school, and yeah, perfect. And then of course, you know, bachelor and master, we want to include that. Here again on achievement and certification, just choose according and based on the job descriptions, 2, 3, 4 of them to keep, and then you know, we can take out the rest. Let me see. Fidan, let me see if where I have you. Let me see. And by the way, sanity check, guys. Are you still there? Are you still alive? Let me take a sip of water. A second. So let me see. Fidan, that's the very good one. Okay. So yes, let's see another example. Let's see another example. Let me take this question. Hello, do you mean that we should adapt? Oh, okay. Very nice question. Ramiz, very nice question. No, the question is, do you mean that we need to change our resume for each job that we are applying for? No, or at least not necessarily. If you do need to adapt, maybe very small things. But what you will need to do is to create your resume so that it will be good for multiple roles. So you will take 5, 6, 10, 20, as many, you know, the more the better, job descriptions that you can find on LinkedIn, on Monster, on Indeed.com, and on that you will analyze each and every job descriptions, and you will take notes of all of the skills that and expertise that those job descriptions require. And then you will put all of them together. You will see, and this is, you will be impressed by how much, how many common requirements there are in all of these different job descriptions. So then you will use all of them. You will use all of them, the ones that repeat themselves the most required ones, to craft your CVs. So you can be pretty sure that your CV will be good for multiple job positions. Then there might be some exceptions. For example, let's assume that you have done, among internship projects and stuff, you have done, I don't know, 5 different things. Okay, 1 project, 3 projects and 2 internships. Okay, you because of time, because of space, you just want to include maximum 3, maximum 4. Okay, so you include 4 of them, which are the most important, the one that repeats them the most, the one that you think, that also you think that you like the most, that are more impressive, and so on. Okay, you choose among the 5 experiences that you have, you just choose the 4 because we don't have space for everything. Then you see a job openings, a job description for one single job that you are applying for that requires some skills that are perfectly aligned with the experience that you left out. In that case, and just in that case, you can readjust your resume. So among the 3 experiences that you put on your CV, you take out 1 and you include the one that you left out before. Okay, so my example with Ferrari, I had done internships. I had done a very my thesis was pretty nice, so I wanted to include that because it was very practical. It was actually like working. So I wanted to include that, and I didn't include my project on the lean manufacturing. It was a very big project, but I didn't include that because you cannot include everything. When I saw the job posting for Ferrari, I've seen that they asked for something so much aligned with that project that I left out of my CV that it would have been, I would have been a fool not to include that project because it was so much aligned. So in that case, I modified my CVs and I included that project. This is a very rare, very rare thing that might happen. But the more experience you get, so the more the more time you work, this is something that you will find yourself doing a lot after 2, 3, 4 years of work. If you want to change, you have done so many different things, so you need to select. When you fresh graduate, you will have this problem less, but yes, it might happen. Not so common, but it might happen. Okay, let's see. Okay. Then we have Ismail, we're here. Should we show a research project in your resume? So yes, research project in your resume, yes, if they are in line with the job descriptions. Everything, we can include everything as long as it's in line with the job descriptions. So if it's something very particular, very peculiar, very interesting for the job that you want to apply for, absolutely, go for it. And again, trying to put it in a marketable way, so with your numerical achievements, what you have done, and so on. Okay, let's take a look at Fidan resumes. And again, guys, I'm so sorry if I mispronounce one of your names. I'm sorry. In case, just correct me and feel free. Very nice. You see, name, bam, job qualification right after. I would erase student as mentioned before. A lot of nice. That's a very nice thing that you can do, but a lot of people have already done so I would modify this. So the listing a lot of skills / keywords in your description. So enthusiastic, ambitious, hardworking, talented, and all of these things. Yes, but a lot of people do that. So try to select one, two of these soft skills that are more aligned with the job description that you have found. And so maybe you have seen, 15 job description. They all say we're looking for enthusiastic, we're looking for ambitious people. Perfect. Just stick with that and erase the other ones. GPA is good. Self-motivation. Okay. Okay, good. Again, because you are already listed in your description a lot of skills, putting again other skills here, it's good. Okay, we can do that, but I would leave more space to elaborate and articulate more on your experience. Writing articles about chemical engineering. How many? Publicate, I published X articles on chemical engineering. Here is the hyperlink to my work. Bam. Maybe the recruiter will never go looking and actually going and reading your articles. But still, what does this tell me? That you work hard, and sometimes even not required. So that's very good. Bam. Number of articles and maybe hyperlink that. Yeah, exactly. And you can easily hyperlink this. Then, the contact reference here, not important. The contact, absolutely not important. References, if they ask you for references, you can give them the references later. They won't go and look for that with the CV. Certificates, good. I would cut a little bit here. And again, maybe just few certificates and elaborate more on arranging technical, non-technical session, field trips. Yes, field trips. What have you done? Which kind of trips? What are the projects that you have worked with? Again, let me see if I can open. Okay, we can look here. So you see the role and the achievements and responsibilities. Okay, so try to do the same thing with your work research, what you have done and the achievements line by line. Okay, for the rest, and again, it's a very good resume. I mean, how it's crafted and what it's in it. So those are just suggestions to elaborate a little more on something. Let's see. You see, yeah, first place window. That's good. Yeah, it's good. Then you can see if you have other work that you have done, the research, group projects. Again, don't underestimate your group projects, and they can put. Good job. Let me see. What about the graduation mark? Filippo Betti. Yes, and again, as we mentioned before, the grade, you can include that, the GPA, the grade, include that just if it's very impressive. Otherwise, don't stress it out. It's not so important. I have seen another one who was. Let me see if I have some other questions. Okay. Let me see. And guys, let me know again if you have any other question and stuff. So Imahan. No, Ilaha. Sorry guys, I'm looking for your resumes among all of the resumes that we have. Okay, here we go. Number 5. All right, that's the next one on our request. Uh, oh yeah, exactly. Now we don't have anyone who's in computer science or projecting here. But again, if you have any projects, and this is very good for the civil engineer, architects, computer science majors. All of your projects you can hyperlink them to places like GitHub or even to your own website. There are I've seen some of the students, they have their own websites. Which is a very easy one page word reference word reference website. And so you can even do that. And one thing that we are not touching this, but I would love to, if you want, guys, we can have another live sessions. It's not a problem, where we can understand a little bit better the how to work on your LinkedIn and on your LinkedIn network to improve even more your possibilities. And just to give you an idea, in the last couple of weeks, I was contacted by Apple, by Facebook, and by some other companies. Why? Not because my resume is the best, but because on LinkedIn, probably because I'm very active on LinkedIn. I do my videos, I share my videos, I share articles, I connect with a lot of people. And LinkedIn, for recruiters, it works exactly like any other social networks. So the more you're connected, the more active you are there, the higher you will rank when recruiters are looking for someone. The more you connect, the more you comment, the more you reference each other. So I'm not telling you to go and create your videos as well, but if you share content, videos, articles, anything, maybe if you're still in the university, you can, even if you don't stress it too much, but maybe once, twice a week, go on LinkedIn. If you don't want to do that every day, connect with someone and share some articles, some of your job. It doesn't always have to be something that you have created. You can, if I see something interesting and I share it, I'm still bringing value to someone else, because maybe they didn't know that, so they can interact and stuff. So don't underestimate that. Then if you want, we can have a detailed section and detailed live about that. Okay, we were saying, let's take a look at Ilaha resumes. Let me just go full screen. All right, it's pretty good. It's one page, okay. Petroleum engineer student, perfect. I know what you do and who you are, like in no time. And by the way, wow, guys, you're so young, incredible, and you already have done so many things. Congrats. One thing that I would do here, I don't know if this is a template from a website or if this is something that you've done with PowerPoint. I would work on your margin. I would leave a little bit more space here and a little bit more space here. That's nothing too crazy to do. But just for readability. LinkedIn, bam, hyperlink. That's good. Again, highly motivated, very good. Let's choose those skills with the help of all of the job descriptions. Education, okay. Okay, it's enough. It's good. I was thinking if maybe you want to put your extracurricular activities before your education, but that's good. And I like the fact that you have divided in section. And I would spend more time describing this. 60 comprehensive, perfect. Exactly. Drilling, maybe you would like to see, you can highlight, like bold, these things, and then according to the job descriptions that you have according to the job description that you have found, you can see if you want to highlight more. So for example, all of these webinars, they presented the topic, they presented this topic, and they explained multiple things about this subject. So, for example, about production engineering, for example. So the webinar would have been about, the most important techniques in production engineering, maybe some, basics on how to measure success, how to measure quality, blah, 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 it could be many things. So for each of these topic, exploration, drilling, reservoir, for each topic, books and books have been written on those topics. So what I would like you to do is, instead of listing all of them, focus on the one that you are most interested about, and then you can maybe create a subsections. So for example, instead of listing exploration, drilling, reservoir, production engineering, you maybe want to have just 3 of them. I don't know, drilling, reservoir, and production engineering, and create a little section. So, webinar and more than 60 comprehensive online session, blah, blah, blah. Main topics, production engineer, and then bullet point. Techniques in production engineer, most quality in production, how to manage quality in production, and fundamentals of work management, for example. I'm throwing topics, but you know which were the topics of this webinar. So instead of listing all of these subjects that are extremely broad, narrow them down to the ones that you are more interested in, and explain more what those webinars were about. And if you have, let me see the work section. Again, work section, that's good, organizing webinars and stuff. So that is the proof of your skills. So, you put yourself out there, helping organizing webinars, connecting with people. And by the way, I hope that all of you guys, you connected with all of the speakers from those webinars, because those are very important connections. And if you didn't do that, go back to the webinars, look for the name of the speaker, and connect with all of them. And okay, now that's good. So use this work and volunteering experience to justify some skills, teamwork, presentation, and so on. How many of the webinars have you organized? How many speakers you have interacted with? How many speech have you yourself delivered? And so on. And yeah, and again, choose 3, 4, 5 points out of all of these section, and elaborate more those points and cut the rest. Guys, I'm impressed by all of you. Anyway, okay, what time is it? Okay, it has been a while. Time flies. So I have no problem in keep on going. Let me know if you guys are still there, if you still want to see some more resumes. Otherwise, we can, I have still a little bit more time. And if you have any questions and stuff, again, I'm not running away. We can do this event again. We can keep on going with your resumes in the next weeks with no problem, in case. Let me see. I'm sure that I have someone else who. Remember, someone said 11. Let me see. 11. How did you find? How did you see 11? Okay. Because you counted. Okay. After 10, 11. Okay. That's okay. Okay. That's definitely. Ismail, I'll do yours, even because I remember yesterday I was chemical engineer, and I was like, okay, that's cool. So we already have 2 chemicals engineers so far, and that's nice. So we differentiate even a little bit. So we got petroleum, we got chemicals. Again, if you have some other questions, feel free to ask them. And if by chance I skipped some of your questions, I skipped some of you because of time, reach me out on LinkedIn, and and we can go from there. Oh, one last thing, guys. If you want to if you want to sustain my initiative, here's my channel. Feel free to subscribe. I have a lot of other videos, and this helps me a lot in keep on doing what I'm doing. So feel free to support my cause by subscribing, sharing the channel if you think that this is valuable and you still want to have more. Now let's jump into Ismail's CVs. It's a nice CV. I like it. I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, this is not PowerPoint. This is coming from a, oh no, maybe it's PowerPoint. I don't know. Yeah, no, because the symbol. Is this PowerPoint, or is it something that you created with some website? Because yeah, it's okay. Of course, we will need to create just one page, but it's a pretty good layout. It's okay. I like it. Short, one page. Chemical engineer. Again, I'm boring you to death, but I'm repeating this. Job descriptions. Which are the most important keywords? Use those keywords. Education. PD. This is something that this is my bad, because this is something that I don't know what PD3 and PD1. I'm not sure what it means. Probably those are side certifications that you have taken. I guess. Ramiz, that's a very nice question, by the way. I'm looking at the trying to analyze and looking at the session. I'm getting to that question in a second. Very nice. Okay, French Azerbaijani. Okay, that's good. Perfect. I would exactly. Not too much. If those two certifications are not process engineer simulation. Okay, now that's okay. Maybe that's interesting. You can put these two certifications together and articulate a little bit more on the skills that you have achieved. So which are the software that you are able to use, which were the projects, if you have done some projects here on these courses, and put these two courses together. It's not important, you would save more space. If you want to save even more space, you can exclude your bachelor degree, because your master is, the highest education. It's always the most important, especially because you see it's chemical engineer here and chemical engineer here. So that's let's say this one includes the bachelor, so we can save more space. Work experience. Very nice. Process engineer intern. That I love it. Okay, that's why I remember yesterday. I was looking your CV and I thought about this. This is a very nice example of how to put your work experience. So you see, I would highlight more your role rather than the company. So revert, role, very big, very understandable, and then the company, which is important but not as important as what you have done. Getting acquainted with process and direct production. Good. Any particular process, machine. What have you done? So you're, 2020 to present, July 2020 to present. So, it's 8 months. How much is it that you're there? So you are doing a lot of things and you are achieving, for sure. You're contributing, you're working on some projects. So for sure, you're contributing to something. Find what you're contributing to and put it here. Numerical results. That's a very, very important thing. And the fact that you're having such a long internship right now, when you are still a student, and you can actually put some real work experiences and achievement. Please, I would definitely advise you to put work experience first in your CVs. Especially because it's pretty rare for fresh graduates to have a comprehensive and long work experience. Of course, you have studied. So yeah, use this. This is a very powerful weapon that you have on your CV. Elaborate, articulate a little bit more. Try to find numerical results, and definitely please do use it. It's very interesting. Which are the projects, the process that you've learned? Which, think about and read through the job descriptions of the job that you will apply to, and find which are the things, the characteristics that they are required that you are actually doing in your job, and bam, do it. Put it here. Very good. That's your secret weapon. For the rest, it's very good. Again, use these other Schlumberger internship. That's another good one. So select a little bit, cut a little bit, and cut a little bit on the number, of all of these. Maybe just decide the 2 or 3 that are more important, and elaborate more on the 2, 3 that you think are more important. Again, how can you think? How can you decide which are the most important? You have studied, and you will study a lot of different job descriptions for the jobs that you would like to do, and you could be a good fit for. And those requirements will tell you what to cut and what to keep. For the rest, maybe you can even use templates with the small column and bigger column, a small section, and bigger section, so you can group together the languages, the technical skills, soft skills, and then again, you can hyperlink most of these, because we need to do just one page. And that's PowerPoint. Okay, perfect. So you have a lot of freedom to arrange things as much as you want. Now, before closing, I would love to answer Rami's questions, which is, I've always struggled with the pitch. This is when I was talking about connect with people. So he says, so I've always struggled with the pitch part, where you have to describe and introduce yourself. Do you have any advice and to make it look natural? Okay, so that's something, when you're starting to talk to someone you've never interacted with. There's a term in marketing that they use in selling. It's cold calling. So it's the most difficult thing that we can do, because we have a lot of fear of rejections. We don't want to sound stupid. We don't want to sound pushy. We don't want to sound fishy. So it's definitely so normal to be scared. So what I would advise you to do is being brief. So very short message. It doesn't, it's not important to have like a very long text message, describing how many things you would like to do, why you would love his or her help. Just be very simple. Hi, I found your LinkedIn profile. For example, if you're connecting on LinkedIn, found your LinkedIn profile. I'm really much, I really do like what you're doing and what you have achieved. I am a student of, petroleum engineer or this and that, and I would love to pursue a career, for a job similar to what you have done. Is it okay if we, I would love to ask you just a couple of questions to see how I can craft my resume, or just, I would like to ask you a couple of questions on your role, and that's it. So, I'm a student, hi, I really do like what you have achieved. So, and you can mention, so for example, this role, it's very impressive, this and that, but a couple of lines, who you are. So, I am a student and I would like to pursue a career similar to yours, and I would like to connect. That's it. So once you connected, then you can maybe ask a couple of questions. I am applying for this company. I see that you worked for this company, and would you mind like giving me a couple of pieces of advice on how was your experience? How do you like the company? And yes, and that's it. Super simple, super easy. The worst thing that will happen is that they will not reply, or they will tell something like, I'm not I'm sorry, I don't have time or something like that. But most of the time they would just not reply. But again, try that and you will be impressed by the number of people that will, give a few minutes to answer. Try to have multiple people. So if you have like a lot of questions, you will not ask a ton of questions to the same person. And this is something, cold calling, emailing, connecting to people, talking to strangers. That's something that scares a lot. And like everything, the more you do it, the better you become and less scared you become. And this is going to be very good. And that's going to be a very good exercise also for your life in general, because also in your work, you will have to interact with people you don't know. And most important, for the job interview, when you will have to talk to a stranger, and that stranger will decide whether you're going to be hired or not. So that's important. That's an important thing. I hope that these help. Hi, how you doing? Simple description. I would love to connect. Let me know. That's it. Once you're connected, just send him that you're interested in the company, why, and super easy, random, 4 lines, 6 lines maximum, easy, nothing too crazy. Perfect, guys. I think that we're good for today, and it was a pleasure. It absolutely was a pleasure to have you here and interacting with you through the comment section. I really hope that you enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know how you liked the session, and most important, let me know if there are some areas that you would love to expand more. The process doesn't finish just with the resume. We have the job interview, we have all of the questions to prepare, we have our LinkedIn to set up. The process is much wider and broader than just your resume. If you want, we can organize a lot of other live sessions where we go through all of these points. If you want to take a look at my YouTube channel, I have a lot of other videos and webinars where I talk about the rest of the process. But we can do something tailor-made on you guys. So let me know. It was an absolute pleasure, and yes, just wanted to quick check for the last time the section. Perfect, guys. Thank you very much. I'll see you on LinkedIn. My name is Pietro Galli. I'll write that on the chat so you can add me. Please subscribe if you want to support me and my cause. And I'll see you very soon next time. Feel free to reach me out if you have any question. And on LinkedIn if you want my templates for visual resume on PowerPoint. Thank you very much. As always, guys, fai a modino.